Alright, this week's gonna be a little different than usual. Part of that's because I'm covering an event instead of just a character, and part of it's because I hate this event. Which means this is going to be not just an explanation, but also a scathing indictment of all the damage Flashpoint has done. To sum up, the story features Barry Allen, the Flash, or one of them at least, waking up in an altered timeline where he isn't the Flash, Batman is dead, Batman's dad is Batman, Batman's mom is the Joker, Superman is a lab rat, Cyborg is the world's greatest hero, Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war, and Shazam is 6 kids in a trench coat pulling a Captain Planet. Oh, and Deathstroke is a pirate. Convinced that this must be the work of his archenemy, Eobard Thawne, aka Reverse Flash, aka Professor Zoom, Barry seeks out Bat-Dad's help, gets struck by lightning, twice, to get his speed powers back, and recruits Cyborg and frees Superman to help stop Themyscira and Atlantis from engaging in open war. Not only do they fail, but at their lowest point, who should show up but Thawne, who comes bearing a revelatory bombshell. It turns out, Barry is the one responsible for changing the timeline, having gone back in time to save his mom, who died when he was a kid. Bat-Dad kills Thawne, he gets better, and realizing that his actions have led to the suffering of millions, Barry sets wrong what once went right, with a little bit of encouragement from his mom, and allows her to die, putting the timeline back to normal. Except that he gets intercepted by a mysterious being named Pandora on his way back to the future, who convinces him that for his world to survive, he has to reunite 3 fractured universes, those being DC, Vertigo, and Wildstorm. And for some reason, Barry almost immediately obliges, creating the giant fustercluck known as the New 52. As a one-off concept, Flashpoint isn't terrible, but as a large-scale event with lasting impact, words can't describe my disdain. See, the thing is that DC keeps painting Flashpoint as a cautionary tale, and when I say keeps, that's because they won't stop adapting it, presenting it as a warning about accepting the past and not losing what you have to get back something you lost. But the big elephant in the room that I've left out so far is that Barry's mom dying wasn't originally part of his timeline to begin with. Thawne killed Barry's mom and framed his dad, while time traveling. So the whole point of Flashpoint, inasmuch as it ever has one besides being a jumping off point for yet another big universe reboot, is apparently that you can't use time travel to fix your problems, even if those problems were caused by time travel. I guess if supervillains go back in time to change things, you're just supposed to live with it, because even just undoing what they did will be a total catastrophe for no adequately explained reason. What's worse, Flashpoint's become pretty much the defining Barry Allen story since he came back from the dead. In total defiance of the expectation that comic book deaths don't stick, Barry was dead from 1985 all the way until 2008, but by the time he came back, his former sidekick Wally West had long since cemented himself as the Flash in his place. Since then, there's always been kind of a struggle to figure out what to do with Barry, and thanks to Flashpoint, they've mostly settled on, well, he screws up and makes things worse. Anyways, the main reason I'm talking about Flashpoint is because the about-to-release Flash movie is confirmed to draw pretty heavily from its central premise of Barry saves his mom, and we're all gonna die because of it. Which is one of many, many reasons why I personally have zero plans to see it, but it still seemed appropriate to make a video nonetheless. Next week, something, you're a Skrull. Probably the Secret Invasion event itself, unless some crazy new character pops up in the first episode who I need to talk about. We'll see how it goes.